Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching from. It's me again, your host, Ikemefuna Chukwuebuka, aka DONBOGIDON Sports. I welcome you again to this wonderful channel. And here we do basically sports and entertainment. And today, the 10th of January, this Friday, we'll take a look at what has been happening in the world of football from our home here in Nigeria, the NPFL, to Africa, the CAF Champions League, then spreading all over to Europe, both the transfers and the results of matches and the the hot news in Europe. So basically, I hope that you all stay entertained today and keep tuned to the channel. You will learn a lot of things and you'll be entertained and you'll be schooled too. So moving on. Where do we start from? If not from our own home here in Nigeria, the NPFL, and it's hotting up already. For those who don't know, we're already at the half stage of the NPFL in Nigeria. 19 games has been played already by most teams, except teams like Enyimba, who has played just 17 games because of their involvement in Africa in CAF. So at the halfway line of the league, we have Remo Stars, who are the surprise packages this season. I don't know. I don't know. Most people didn't see them coming. So they are leading the league already with 36 points after 19 games, and following them all bumper to bumper there, Rivers United in second, and third are Shooting Stars, and surprisingly our reigning champions, the defending champions, Enugu Rangers, are fourth on the table. Then um, you have Eimba, they're fifth with 17 games. All these four teams already have played 19 games each. So Eimba have just played 17 games and they lie there fifth on the table. And the most surprising thing is that we have Shooting Stars there, we have Remo Stars there. So most people didn't see them coming, but Rivers United and Enugu Rangers and Enyimba are what people know, are the teams that people know that they are going to be there. So let's see how this turns out in the next 19 games, in the next half of the league. Let's see if Remo Stars can maintain this lead and Shooting Stars can also maintain this tempo and be in the top four at the end of the season. And talking about the top four, Shooting Stars seem to be the most team in form. They are currently on 5-game winning streak. Can you imagine that? 5 games winning streak. And let's see what will happen. They have a game coming up on Sunday. On Sunday they have a game coming up on Sunday, which is against Kwara United, and Aqua United also are playing Remo Stars. Remo are going away. Shooting Stars also are going away. This will happen on Sunday, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. That's the game on Sunday. The ones we have here on Sunday. So let's see if these two teams can maintain their stay up there in the top four. And I would like to see what Shooting Stars can make of this Kwara United game if they can continue their brilliant run of form to make it 6 game straight with a win. So down again, let's talk about the man in form, the man everybody has been talking about, the man that is mesmerizing the home front. His name is Brown Ide. Brown Ide seemed to be lighting up everywhere. 3 games already since he came back to the NPFL. He scored his first goal back there in the CAF Confederations Cup for Enyimba. And just few days, I think yesterday, he scored again for Enyimba at home. He scored again for Enyimba against Nasarawa United. He scored against Nasarawa United. So making it 2 goals back to back in 3 games. That's a very, 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 very impressive start for him. And I hope that most of our international players that are old, that want to I don't know what to do in Europe, hope that they are seeing this, Look at Ahmed Musa when he came back the first time. Look at how he lit up the league. Then he came back the second time and he's still doing okay. So most of these are players out there. I think it's time for them to look around and say, oh, let me bring this back home. Let me come home. But if you look at the league, I think what we have been struggling, not only within the league, but in Nigeria at most, is the issue of insecurity. So I think if you can solve that issue, I think we will have some of these our Nigerian players coming back to play in our league. So a very good one for Brown Day, and I hope it continues. Moving on. We have the biggest news making the rounds in Nigeria, which has to do with Enugu Rangers. On Thursday, the managing director of Enugu Rangers, in the person of Barrister Amobi Ezak, came out to disclose to us about their partnership, the partnership deal they had with Schaffel Helsing of Switzerland. This happened on Thursday, January 9th, and it really gave most Nigerians a very big joy to see a team in Nigeria doing something great with a team there in Europe, and I hope we see more of this from other teams here in Nigeria. So that's a big one for Barrister Mobiezag. The guy has been really doing well since he came in last season. He pioneered and cheered this team to winning the NPFL, and this is a milestone for them, for Rangers International. And also they are doing well in the league. Also they are fourth on the table, just roughly three or 4 points below Remo Stars there. So good one for them. That's what we love to see. That's what we love to see. That's the kind of news we love to hear. So kudos to them, and I hope other people will take a leap from them and see some of these deals and make us proud also in the coming days, weeks, or months there. And going forward, like I said earlier, we have two games coming up this Sunday in the NPFL, which is the Kwara United taking on Shooting Stars and Akwa United taking on Remo Stars. These games will be played on Sunday, 4 p.m. So I hope you guys will be tuned. Most of us that are out there in Ilorin, I hope you go out there to support Kwara, and those that at Akwa Ibom. I hope you go out there to support Aqua United too. So moving on, the biggest news we had this week is the news about the employment of our new coach, the Malian international Eric Chale. I don't really know how to pronounce this name. I'm not from Mali, so I hope I get correct. I hope I get it right. Eric Chale or Eric Chale. I don't know, but like you all know, he's from Mali, the first non-Nigerian African to coach the Super Eagles. So he's 47 years of age. He has really done well for himself. From the little I've seen of his CV, 159 games coached. He has won 70. That's roughly almost half of the games. He has won 70, drawn 47, and lost 42. Yeah, when you look at the stats, it shows a very, very good, not that quite good, but really good, something to work on. So we really wish him well. The notable work we can remember him of was taking Mali to the quarterfinals of the last AFCON, the AFCON that just finished there in Ivory Coast, and to be sincere, he really did well there. He was just few minutes. He was just few minutes away from making it to the semi-finals, but like the Cote d'Ivoireans, the never say die spirit they had in them pushed them to get that equalizer and eventually won that game. And we saw Cote d'Ivoire moving straight to the finals and even beating our own Super Eagles Nigeria there to win the AFCON. So I wouldn't really say it's a bad tournament for him. Getting to know that the people that beat him eventually were the winners of the AFCON. So nice one there, and we wish him well. We wish him well because what do we have to do? We don't really have to do anything. The NFF have employed him, so we have to wish him well because we don't have We have to wish him well and support him too. We have to support him because we don't have any option. If you say we won't support him and we won't wish him well, that really falls back on us because this country, I believe, we are due for another AFCON victory. The last AFCON we won was in 2013 under Stephen Keshi. So I think we are due for another AFCON, and this is an AFCON year, which is happening in June, July. So we really wish him well, and we hope that he brings back this AFCON for us. But first, according to what the NFF chairman Ibrahim Musa Gusau was saying a few days back, that his first job would be to coach the Chan Africans, the Chan Eagles, sorry, to the Chan tournament, which is starting off on February 1st and will be ending on the February 28th. And like most of you know, the Chan will be hosted this year by three countries. They are Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. So we just wish him well there. Let's see what we can do there at the Chan tournament starting very soon. And from there we can know what we have a lot of things to do this year. These are our World Cup qualifiers. So more is really tough. The situation we find ourselves there is not a good situation. So I just hope and pray that by the end of July, we'll have a reason to celebrate this guy the more. Because February, we have the Chan tournament. By March, we should be talking about the qualifiers. And by June, we should be talking about AFCON 2025 with our stars. Look at the stars littered all over the place. Second best goalkeeper in Africa. What's his name? Stanley. And we have True Second, who is the best defender, as I can say, in Africa. We have Olaino, who is doing well in the EPL. You can't count one, two, three right backs in EPL without counting Olaino. And there is Lookman there, the current African best. There is Osimhen, who is the past African best, and a lot of stars. Look at what Iwobi is doing at Fulham. For me, this season he should be going for the Fulham best player this season. So we have stars. So I hope by the end of July we'll have a reason to celebrate this guy the more, and we wish the Super Eagles well also. So moving ahead to Africa, like you all know, or some people know, we are in the last phase, last group games of the CAF Champions League, and after this we are moving straight to the quarterfinals. So tonight we have MC Alger facing TP Mazambe in the first game, and Al Hilal facing Young Africans. This will be happening 8 p.m. Nigerian time. So these are the two games you have this night, the last games of the group stages. So we from there we hope that we can see a very good quarterfinal games coming up, and in the Confederations Cup I hope that Enyimba can do well and qualify too, because it's been long. We have CAF Champions League winners and CAF Confederations Cup winners here in Nigeria. So I hope these guys can do well also. So I hope these guys can also do well also, and bring glory to Nigeria in the club football category. So from there, moving on to Europe, and we are going to talk about transfers. A lot of things are going on, a lot of transfer news up there and here. So, but we'll pick just a few of them and talk about them. And where else to start but to start with Man City, the team that has been in shambles, the team that has been in disarray. And I know that the man called Pep Guardiola, I know he's going to jump into the market, because he has been waiting. He has been waiting, and I know he won't hold back. And from the dealings happening in the transfer window already, he is trying to see if he can rectify one or two things. And we are better to start if not from the defense. So from the news we have, Man City are closing down on Abdulkadri Hausanov of RC Lens. He's a 20-year-old centre back. They are chasing the guy, and it seems the deal is getting close to be sealed, but they are not taking any chances as they are chasing him. They have another alternative in Victor Reyes of Palmeiras. So according to reports that we have, Reyes has already agreed a deal, a personal deal to sign for Man City, but their top target has to be Kusanov. Kusanov is their top target, but if they have to miss out on Kusanov, they will have to settle for Victor Reyes. So that's the situation out there with Man City. Pep is not slowing down. He wants to get this team firing already. He wants to get them firing. 14 points below Liverpool is no joke. So he will try to marshal and do everything he can to get back to that top spot. If not for anything, for the Champions League, at least get to the top four. So still on Man City, the news of Omar Mamouche is not going away anytime any soon. It's not going away. Even Pep, when he was asked in his press conference earlier today, he wasn't he didn't let any he didn't give any hints. He just normal Pep tried to play around with the press. So Omar Mamouche is there. The talk is there. The rumors are there. So we keep tabs on that. Everybody should look out for that young man. He's doing well there in Germany. So Omar Mamouche is there, being linked to Manchester City. So moving on, we have Noah Okafor. This evening we heard that AC Milan has reached a loan deal agreement with RB Leipzig. So Noah will be moving to RB Leipzig on loan for 1.5 million euros. And in that deal they have an option of 25 to 28 million euros, an option to buy for RB Leipzig. So moving on. Where else to stop if not at Manchester United? Manchester United, a lot of things has been happening in the last few days following the biggest news has to be with the agreement to extend his stay at Manchester United from Ahmad Diallo. He has signed a deal to extend his stay at Manchester United to 2030. So anything being talked about Ahmad Diallo leaving United has ended. So he's staying put, he's staying there till 2030. And I believe, and I'm really happy for the guy because his hard work has been rewarded. This was a guy who started very well during the preseason. He started very well. The first few months, the October and I think around September, he was doing so well for Manchester United, and all of a sudden, I'm sorry for that, and all of a sudden, Eric Ten Hag had to make the guy sit on the bench, and a lot of people were asking, what is really going on with this young man? Why hasn't he been playing? So as Amorim came in, we saw the guy back to the team and he has been firing. It's not easy, it's not a joke, it's no beans for you to score a winner against Manchester City and they're scoring an equalizer just a few days ago against Liverpool at Anfield of all places. So I believe if there is anybody that deserves a contract extension at Manchester United, that man should be Amad Diallo, and congrats to him, and I'm very happy for him to have extended his stay at Manchester United. Still on Manchester United, the rumors and the news are not leaving anytime soon for Kobe Mino, Alejandro Garnacho, and Marcus Rashford. The news about their transfers, about moving out of Manchester United, is not going out anywhere. And Kobe Mino has said he is not bothered because he knows he's staying at Manchester United. So, but the two, Alejandro Garnacho and Marcus Rashford, we don't know what is going to happen with the two, but Rashford seems to be the man closer to leaving Manchester United. These past few days, we have had links from Spain, links from Italy, and recently links from West Ham United. From Italy, it was decoded that Como FC, the new boys in Italy, are the ones pursuing Rashford, but I think that will not happen because yesterday a news broke out that Como seemed to have stepped down from the chase. So it's now the link from Spain. We are yet to decode the team pursuing him from Spain, and the team looking for him in England is West Ham. And I think if there is anything he can do, he should go to West Ham. I think West Ham with the new manager now, Graham Potter, I think Marcus Rashford will do a lot better at West Ham, because when you look at Graham Potter and the way he played back then when he was playing at Brighton, his wingers were his main engine. Apart from the midfield, his wingers were the main people transiting his plays. When he came to Chelsea, he tried to do the same thing, and now he's at West Ham. Imagine having a Marcus Rashford on the left and what's his name? Mohamed Kudus on the right with Fulcrum or Mikel Antonio there as the number 9. I think West Ham will give us a really, really good football to watch to this second part of the season. So I think Marcus Rashford should be thinking of going to West Ham. But going to West Ham, they will have to sort out his wage, because he's on a very high wage. £350,000 is a very big money for West Ham to shoulder. So I think if anything should happen, they will have to get this deal done and discuss a very big percentage to go down from that Marcus Rashford deal. I think Manchester United will have to shoulder a lot of money for that. Maybe let's say Manchester United take around 250, West Ham will take 100. I don't know how they decide to do that, but West Ham will with the way that club is being run, I don't know. But for me personally, if you ask me, I would say Marcus Rashford should be heading to West Ham. Let him stay in England. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do there in England. Some of you must have forgotten this man, the man with the story, the 2018 Champions League final, the man that made the most headlines, Loris Karius. Loris Karius is still playing football. So this recently he he completed a move, or should I say, he's on the verge of completing a move to Schalke 04 from Newcastle United, or a free transfer to Schalke 04. So he will be moving back to Germany where he came from. So he will be moving back to Germany where he came from, and I hope and I wish him all the best, because since that 2018 Champions League final where he had that concussion and those mixed up, and which made Liverpool lose that final, the guy hasn't regained himself, and I hope when he moves back to Germany, he will regain some of his confidence there in Germany. So what else do we have on transfer news? The big transfer, the big guy that seems to be making all the rounds here, he's from Napoli actually. Habingcha Kvaratskhelia. Habingcha Kvaratskhelia seems to be the guy making the rounds now. He's been wanted by almost everybody in the Premier League. What is really going on? What is really going on with this guy? So, news broke out earlier today, that PSG once offered Napoli 210 million euros to get both Victor Osimhen and then Habingcha Kvaratskhelia in the summer, last summer. So, but the Napoli president or the Napoli director, that guy is a very hard guy. Very, very hard guy. He refused that deal to PSG, and Victor had to go to Galatasaray, and Habingcha had to stay. So now Habingcha is back in the news. Everybody is pursuing him, and I heard from reliable sources that Napoli has pegged £80 million transfer price on the guy. So let's hope and see who will get him. Like, I heard that Liverpool are up there in the race. I think a bit of Manchester United are there in the race, and some other clubs around there in Europe. So let's see where the guy ends up. Maybe he can still end up in Napoli, because nobody wants to make or pay that kind of money this January when they can get him for less in the summer. But not actually for less, we don't know. But those kind of players should, if you want to sign them, you should wait for the summer and get a little bit caught there to get him. So that's it for the transfer news we have now. So let's go to some other news making rounds in EPL and around EPL. Where else to start if not from the manager story we had yesterday? So yesterday we had that West Ham sacked Everton, that Everton sacked Sean Dyche yesterday. And just when we are preparing to to welcome Graham. Just when we are preparing to welcome. Sorry that we heard that West Ham sacked Joan Lopetegui, but just when we are about to welcome Graham Potter to West Ham United, we had the breaking news of Shandai being sacked. And this was a guy that was already preparing to take on was the preparing to take on the team in the FA Cup, Peterborough in the FA Cup last night. And after the training, we heard that they showed him the back door, so he had to leave. And Scholes Coman and Leighton Baines, the under 18 coach there at Everton, had to take care of the match yesterday. And the funny thing is that the two of them got the win yesterday. It was a 2-0 win for Everton against Peterborough. And there was a very remarkable thing that was about to happen in that game. Ashley Young playing for Everton and his son playing for Peterborough United. And we were about to see a father and son moment there in that game, but the Peterborough coach did not allow it to happen. So Ashley Young was on the pitch there when Everton were leading 2-0. Everybody was expecting that the Peterborough United will bring on the son of Ashley Young so that we can have a father and son moment, those kind of remarkable moments in that game. But it didn't really happen. It didn't really happen, and that was a bad one there. I won't say really bad, but that we really wanted to have that kind of moments, but it didn't happen. So good one for Fulham yesterday. They won 4-1 in the FA Cup, so they are moving on to the fourth round already. What else do we have on the FA Cup? The FA Cup. What else do we have? We have a lot of games coming up. But we'll start with the ones coming up today, which is Webcom Wanderers facing on Portsmouth today at 8:45 p.m. We have Aston Villa taking on West Ham United. That will be 9 p.m. today. An all EPL game going on today. That will be a very tough one, and it will be a very good one to watch. Let's see what Graham Potter will be able to do with these West Ham boys. But for me, I think is a very, very how do I put it? It's a very short time for him to implement his tactics. So for me, I will give an Aston Villa win here. Birmingham City and Lincoln City also will be coming up. These ones are tomorrow games. 1 p.m. tomorrow will be Birmingham City taking on Lincoln City. Birmingham City taking on Lincoln City. Bristol City taking on Wolves. I see Wolves winning this one already, except we have the Giant Killers also in this game. Middlesbrough United taking on Blackburn Rovers. Middlesbrough there will be taking the day for me. Then 1:15 p.m. is Liverpool against Accrington Stanley. Liverpool against Accrington Stanley. I don't know, the poor form of Liverpool these days with the Manchester United game, nearly losing it there at the last moment. But Harry Maguire flopped his line, and the loss they had the other day in the Carabao Cup against Tottenham at St. James Park. So I don't know. But I think Liverpool have everything to win this game. Even with the changes, even with the second 11, they have everything to win Accrington Stanley. So this game is going on at Anfield. So 1:15 p.m. is the time tomorrow. Leicester City against QPR. I think Leicester should be taking this. This is coming up at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Then 4 p.m. will be Bournemouth against West Bromwich Albion. And Bournemouth should be taking this, even with the Enas Unals and the Van Nielsen, their strikers out. I think they should be winning this with the other guys there, Semenyo and Brooks and other guys. Brentford and Plymouth Algae. I think Brentford should be taking this 4 p.m. Also, Chelsea against Morecambe. I think Chelsea will be taking this also. If they use all those 11 they use in the Conference League, they should be taking this also. So I see a Chelsea win. Exeter City and Oxford United. You can make your predictions there. Norwich and Brighton. This is a very, very dicey game. A very dicey game. But I will pick a Brighton, but I see a giant clean here, but I will pick a Brighton to win this game. Nottingham Forest and Luton Town. Luton Town just recently, yesterday, sacked their manager. The manager they have had for like 2 years now, they sacked him. So let's see what they can come up with. And all these new manager bounce against these teams. But I think Nottingham Forest have enough to win this game. There are no small teams. You see what is happening in the EPL. So I think Nottingham Forest can take the game and take the game here. So Preston North End and Charlton United 4 p.m. also. Reading and Burnley. I think Burnley should be taking this. But let's see what happens. Sunderland against Stoke. Leeds United against Harrogate. Manchester City against Salford City. This is coming up at 6:45 p.m. I think Man City will be taking this. This shouldn't be a game for Man City. Coventry City and then Sheffield Wednesday. This should be 7 p.m. Leighton Orient and Derby County 7 p.m. too. Mansfield Town and Wigan Athletics 7 p.m. Hull City and Doncaster Rovers 7 p.m. Tamworth and Tottenham Hotspur. These ones are Sunday games. So Sunday games, Hull City and Doncaster Rovers. This should be 1 p.m. game. At 1:30 p.m. on Sunday should be Tamworth and Tottenham. I think Tottenham should be taking this. And the biggest game of this third round, I will have to skip it. To come back and talk about it. It is, don't worry, I will skip it. I will come back. 4 p.m. on Sunday, Crystal Palace against Stockport County. I think Stockport should be taking this also. 4 p.m. also on Sunday, Ipswich and Bristol Rovers. This looks like a giant killing game, but I think Ipswich will win this. Newcastle against Bramley. Newcastle should be taking this 4 p.m. Then 5:30 p.m. Southampton against Swansea City. To the surprise of many, I will tip Swansea City to win this. So Millwall. This should be 8:30 p.m. on Monday. Millwall against Dagenham and Redbridge. Millwall should be winning this, except we see a giant killer here. So back to the biggest game I was talking about. Sunday, 4 p.m. Arsenal against Manchester United. The highest record winners of the FA Cup versus the reigning champions of the FA Cup. Where else to be this weekend? If not on Sunday, 4 p.m. And this should be the biggest match of this round. So a lot of people have been making a lot of predictions and outcomes on this game. For me, I don't really know, but I will tip Arsenal to win this, if not for anything, but for the form in this game. But like they say, when these kind of big games happen, form flow out of the window. So, but for me, I think Arsenal to win this. But judging from what Manchester United has done with the recent game against Liverpool, with the way they played against Liverpool and everything and the zeal they showed, I think they have enough to do a giant clean in this game, because obviously they are the underdogs in this game and Arsenal are the giants in this game. So, but let's see what happens. But Arsenal are playing at home. So for me, I think that should be a very, very big advantage to Arsenal. And with the way they have played Manchester United over the years at Emirates Stadium, they should be winning this. But you can't really say. But what I know is that anybody who decides to lose this game, there will be a lot of roasting out there on the streets. So it's not only in England that games are going on. In Spain also. In Spain, before going to Spain, to bring to your knowledge that Real Madrid made it to the finals. They made it to the finals of the of Spain Super Cup after they beat Mallorca there. Jude Bellingham turning up also. He turned up yesterday, making his 7 goals in his last 9 games. That's a great one for the young lad. So they won Mallorca 3-0 to move to the finals of the Super Cup. So, talking about Spain, tomorrow we have games lined up in the La Liga. 2 p.m. is Deportivo Alaves taking on Girona. Real Valladolid taking on Real Betis. That should be 4:15 p.m. Then 6:30 p.m. Espanyol taking on Leganes, and 9 p.m. the biggest game for the day, Sevilla against Valencia. So I think Sevilla should be winning this. They should be winning this. In the Bundesliga, a lot of games there, but let's pick the most important or the most intriguing game, which is happening on at 6:30 p.m. Borussia Mönchengladbach against Bayern Munich. So it's a very interesting game to watch. Borussia Mönchengladbach. I think Bayern Munich to win this also. In Serie A, there are games there on Saturday. Empoli taking on Lecce, and everything here seems to be a big game. It seems to be a big game. 3 p.m. should be Udinese taking on Atlanta. And on 6 p.m., Torino taking on Juventus. Turin derby there. Going to be a very strong game for Juventus. Juventus are away there to Torino. And 8:45 p.m., AC Milan against Cagliari. And I pick AC Milan to be winning this. In Ligue 1 also, there are games there. There are games in Ligue 1 also. But just 3 games tomorrow in Ligue 1. Brest taking on Lyon. Reims taking on Nice. And Rennes taking on Marseille. So these are the big games in Europe coming up this Saturday. Not forgetting Eredivisie. Games are there in Eredivisie, but let's take the 2 strong games we have there in Eredivisie, which is Ajax taking on Warwick. Ajax taking on Warwick at 6:45 p.m. Then PSV Eindhoven taking on AZ Alkmaar 9 p.m. So these are the games going to happen tomorrow in Europe. So then also we have in the Portuguese League, the League Cup. In Portugal, the League Cup coming on in Portugal, 8:45 p.m. Sporting CP taking on Benfica. For those who love the Saudi Pro League, they still have matches tomorrow. Talking about Saudi Pro League, yesterday, who else to talk about if not the big masquerade, the big man himself, Cristiano Aveiro dos Santos. Yesterday scored again. He scored again to open his account for 2025. He scored for Al Nassr yesterday, and bringing his total career goals to 917 goals. So, like you all know, 1,000 goals is the target for Cristiano Ronaldo. And yesterday he kicked off again. And kudos to the man. Very soon he'll be turning 40. He's not a midfield. It's not easy. Kudos to him. So talking about the Saudi Pro League, we have the Al Oroba taking on Al Hilal, 2:45 p.m. there tomorrow. Then 3:40 p.m. we have Al Qadish taking on Al Tawon there. Then 6 p.m. is Al Fayhal and Al Ittihad. So these are the big games, or the very interesting games coming up tomorrow. So what else to discuss again? It's been a very, very tough day. It's been a very, very long day. And this is where we say goodbye to you all. And I hope you are entertained. I still remain your host here. My name is Ikemefuna Chukwuebuka DONBOGIDON, DBD for short. And I hope we have an interesting few days and weeks to come again. So these are the games coming up this week. And okay, I think I'm forgetting something. To finish up, the biggest news we have today coming up from England, coming up from the EPL, the players and the player of the month and the manager of the month. And it's no surprise that the player of the month in EPL for December is Alexander Isak. That boy has been phenomenal. Alexander Isak has been phenomenal. Congrats to him. He also won the goal of the month. That goal, that beautiful goal against Liverpool, that was the goal that won the goal of the month for December. And who else to win the manager of the month, if not the man that is making everybody surprised in the EPL, taking Nottingham Forest there in the EPL to the top 4? Who else if not Nuno Espirito Di Santo, the coach of Nottingham Forest? Congrats to him, and congrats also to Isak for what they have done in the month of December. Some of you have your reservations, but the fans has voted, the board has declared the winner. So thank you all, and I hope to meet you again next time. Bye bye.